Shalom. So in this video, we're going to talk about why are toxic relationships trending so much, right? Everyone you speak to these days, oh, I'm just getting out of a toxic relationship. Everybody's getting out of a toxic relationship. Everybody is moving into a toxic relationship. Why is it trending so much, right? Now, when we think about things that we attract to ourselves, we keep on escaping the fact that maybe there's something about us that's attracting the same thing over and over. How is it that everybody else is just so toxic, but all the healthy people are attracting them? So what about the other healthy people? Why they don't attract each other? That seems a little bit strange, right? No, the reason why this happens is because we have a lot of people out there who think that they are healthy, but they are really codependent. And the reason why they think they are healthy is because what? They hide all their shame, their fear, their guilt, everything, they hide it by dealing with somebody who has more problems than them, and worse problems than them. So in that way, once you're dealing with other people's problem, you get to overlook your own. And that's the whole point of this codependent mindset. Codependency is a method, it's a belief, it's a way of thinking. When these people go to the dating table, they do not ask for what they want. Matter of fact, a lot of them don't even know what they want. Question some of these people who say they're coming out of a toxic relationship or coming out of a relationship with a toxic partner. Ask them what are their needs in a relationship. Half of them don't even have a clue. So if you don't know what your needs are, how can another person meet them? Because if this toxic person is actually meeting your needs, how would you know that you're being fulfilled when you yourself don't know your needs, what your needs are? So you go to the relationship table and what? You do not ask for anything. And this is where you expect people to be psychic. Oh, I'm not going to tell her what I need. She needs to read my mind and know exactly what I want and give it to me. And then when I'm not getting it, guess what? Now I'm depressed. Now I'm anxious. I'm going through all these different sets of emotions, and I'm going to blame it on her because she needs to read my mind, know what I want, know what I need, and give it to me. But we don't consider that toxic because it's us. So that's the mindset. You go, you do not ask for what you want, so you focus on what the other person wants. So you spend all this time, all this relationship doing what? Focusing on the need and the wants of the other person. You overlook your own totally. You forgot that you want this, you forgot that you want that. You don't even care whether you get it because you're probably accustomed to a history of not getting what you want. So now your mind has formed this fixed concept in the unconscious. Even if you are not aware of it, it's in the unconscious. So most likely you are not even aware of the belief that is rooted here. I will never get what I want. Because maybe when you were a child, guess what? You never got what you want from your parents because your parents were not never honest with you to say, hey, okay, what you see Johnny has over there or what you see Sarah has over there, they can afford it. I cannot. A lot of the parents were never honest in the beginning. So they leave the children to formulate all these thoughts in the mind because they don't know how to process the reality or the truth. Oh, you're not going to school today. Tell the damn child that you do not have the money to send the child to school. So they can understand from an early age what the reality is. Don't let them think you have it the same way this your his or her friend parents over here has the same money, but you're just not giving it to them. So now they think that it's a problem with them why they're not getting it because you have it, but you're just not giving it to them. That madness needs to stop. We need to be honest with the children. We need to let them understand what the reality is. So a child, this person grows up with this belief that he or she will never get what they want. So it's the same mindset When you get into the relationship, yes, biologically you got older, but emotionally, mentally, you are the same age. You are the same stage. So now you go thinking you're in a relationship with your mother and your father who never gave you anything. So you try focus on, okay, how I can make things work, how I can do this, how I can do that. Because you always spend your time trying to please mommy, trying to please daddy, hoping that they would see you for who you are. That psychic mentality that you expect people to have. Now, the next thing is that a lot of people do not have good boundaries, and not only good boundaries, some people have no boundaries whatsoever. Because based on how they interpret things is that if I say no, I am mean. And if I say yes, I am kind. So you see that um that interpretation right there, it creates a lot of negativity. It creates so much because now if something is acceptable to you, you deal with it one way. And if something is not acceptable, you deal with it the same way. So there's no difference between what is acceptable and what is not acceptable. So you do not know when to say no. You do not know when to say yes. So if you're asking me if I can do this for you, now with that mindset, I'm gonna say yes because I want to look like a good person in your eyes. So everybody comes and asks you to do this, this, this. Guess what? You're gonna say yes. And it's taking so much out of you because you have to be pouring into everyone even when you don't want to. See, this is the difference. You have to be intentional. So if you choose to help this person, you're helping the person because you intend to. So it doesn't matter if the person come and say, okay, this is for my child or for my grandmother or for this or for it doesn't matter what their reason is. If you are not helping them, you're just not helping them. Be intentional about your yes. Be intentional about your no. If a behavior is not acceptable to you, draw your line. Don't be afraid to say no. And this is how things start off in these relationships. And you ignore them until it gets so bad that it gets so bad you can't fix them anymore. You can't even address them because the person has grown accustomed to dealing with you this way. From the moment the person yells at you, that's the moment where you take your first pause. Do not talk to me this way. If you attempt to talk to me in this way, the conversation ends right here. Do not um, shout on me over the phone because I'm going to close the call until you get back yourself together. So the moment the person shouts on you over the phone, you close the call. You have to state your principle and you have to state your judgment. Okay, this is it. And if you do it, this is what I'm going to do. A lot of you will say what you don't want, but guess what? You never execute your judgment. So everything you're stating is just like the person is just laughing at it because it carries no meaning. You have to make a difference between what is acceptable to you and what is not acceptable. You cannot build relationships on those grounds where everything is acceptable. That's how unhealthy relationships are created. No boundaries, no judgment, no lines. Now, this is where the ultimate self deception comes in. You go to the dating table with the mindset I can fix this person. I can fix that person. I can make her happy. I can make him happy. I can do this. I can do that. So you go on with your what do you call it? Your outfit, your mechanic, your whatever outfit, your first aid kit, everything. That's how you go into relationships. So if you're sending this message out there, guess what? You're only going to attract people who needs fixing. So yes, your mind is like this electromagnetic field sending out all these sound waves, like sonar. And when it hits objects, guess what? It sends back waves to you. So now you can, okay, this person is wounded, this person is wounded, okay, this person is healed. Out of the way. So all the healed people, you push them out the way. leave you with all these toxic people. No, you start detecting for the worst ones. Okay, this person is alcoholic. Oh wow, that's my guy. That's my woman. This person is abusive. Oh yes, that's it. It's not a coincidence. It is something about us that keeps attracting these kind of people into our lives. And you know what's the worst part of it? What we tell ourselves? Oh, I'm an empath. What does that have to do with it? You being an empath, what does it have to do? Because you know what empaths do? You heal and you restore people. So nothing is wrong with healing or helping or whatever. Paul, John, all these people, all these prophets, whatever, they were going about healing people, restoring people. But you know what? They never crossed that line with sexual relationships. So how is it that you being an empath, you having all the spirit of God, but that spirit of God or that Holy Spirit of discernment only puts you into toxic relationships? You don't find that weird? It's because you are toxic, you are codependent, and you want to hide that. You want to hide how you feel, and in order for you to hide how you feel, you have to hide behind people who are more broken than you. Because you know what would happen if you get into a relationship with that healthy woman or a healthy man? Your whole world falls apart. You cannot pretend anymore. You cannot act anymore. What are you going to fix with this person? You can't. So it's going to show how inadequate you are. It's going to show how you really feel about yourself. It's going to show the shame that you have about yourself. It's going to, you cannot hide anymore. The shame is that belief that you have that something is wrong with you. You must be the problem. Why your mother, why your father never gave you this? Why your ex husband or your ex wife? Why they never did this for you? Why you were never fulfilled in any relationship? That's the shame, the belief that something is fundamentally wrong with you. So in order for the shame to hide itself, it needs someone who has more problems than you. And out of that shame, you know what comes out of it? Your fear. This is why a lot of people are afraid of emotional closeness. This is why you're afraid of being with a healthy person. So if you have nine healthy person to choose from and one toxic person, guess what? The shame is going to choose that toxic person. And you being so out of awareness cannot even recognize that you have a pattern of choosing these same type of people. You know why? Because if you choose one of these healthy people, if you choose one of these healthy people, it's going to reveal that you're afraid. You're afraid of failure. You're afraid that you will be rejected. But when you go into a relationship with a toxic person, guess what? You can always blame it on, oh, my ex was so toxic, I had to leave him. It was draining, was taking everything out of me, it was constantly keeping me in the state of depression, anxiety, and all of these madness. No, your shame and your fear is why you guys broke up. So even if the person, even if this broken man or broken woman is trying to make effort, guess what? You're gonna push them away anyway. You will never see their efforts because you're overly focused on fixing this, fixing that. There's never a peaceful moment. Now check your history of relationships and see how many toxic people you've attracted while you are being so healthy, while you are being this empath that has it all together. Now there's a solution to all this problem. We have to understand because we're too caught up into, and most of us who say we believe in the Bible, we're so caught up into Western psychology that we're in this web that we cannot get out of. Psychologists tell you that, okay, you're an empath. No, you're not an empath, you're a damn codependent. If you're an empath, heal and restore people and do not get sexually involved with them. When you see if you heal and restore a person and you see the person is really has his or her life unshocked, and you get into the relationship after the person is being restored, then that's fine. But don't come, okay, you have a demon, you need deliverance, I'm gonna cast it out. But in the process, I'm gonna be having sex with you until I cast out those demons. So now you won't have sex, and guess what? Those demons jump on you, you end up like the seven sons of Sceva, running out of the house, running out of the relationship. We need to come back to the biblical principles. So when you go, because we always say, okay, marriage is a contract, ketubah, whatever, right? When you go to the dating table, stop asking stupid questions. What's your favorite food? What's your favorite movie? Where do you like to hang out? That's not part of the contract. When you go to the dating table, you are negotiating your contract. Stop asking stupid questions. If there's a reason for a second date, you will get to know these things afterwards. You need to set the grounds on your dating. What are you negotiating at the table? Because a lot of people, they always talk about, oh, what do you bring to the table? Okay, this is what I bring. I bring my shame. I bring my fear. I bring my guilt. I bring my depression. I bring my anxiety. Speak the damn truth and allow people the opportunity to decide whether they really want to be in a relationship with you, and stop. Why do you have to go through all this relationship just to find out that the person has all these defects and now you got to put up with it? Just be honest with your damn self. Identify your needs also. Identify what you want in a relationship, the things that matter to you, and how they can be fulfilled. And the other person you're dating, identify theirs also, and you see where you guys stand and how you guys can fulfill each other. Then you will know that, okay, a line can be there's some similarity here, we can work with each other. But going to the dating table and not stating what your needs are in the relationship, that's madness. And some of you guys you will get to a certain stage, not just biologically in age, but in your mind, where you think that this is the last guy on earth. This is the last woman on earth. So I'm not going to state what I really need at first, because he's too fine and I cannot let him walk away. She's too fine and I cannot let her walk away. And if I state what I need, I might push her away. I might push him away. And I don't want to do that at first. So you wait until you cross the line of sex. Then now you're trying to say all these things that you want. What the hell? We need to do better. So we can stop spreading this rumor that I'm always coming out of a toxic relationship. There are only toxic people out there on the dating market. Negotiate your needs and your wants. Just like when you're doing a marriage contract, written, you're doing it verbally at the dating table. The next thing, state the things that are acceptable and not acceptable to you. Those are the things that you're negotiating at the dating table. You have to know yourself to some extent so you can make your own contract while you're dating. Okay, you are like this. Well, I don't see how this is going to work with me being in this way. So we have too many differences. Okay, we cannot work. But it was a good evening with you, and I really enjoy the conversation and this and that. But take care of yourself. He's the last man on the earth, so what? She's the last woman on the earth, so what? So what? Now, the next thing, to all the empaths out there, you need to recognize that you cannot fix someone. It's not a car. A car you can fix, a computer you can fix, whatever devices you can fix. As for a person, it takes intelligent work to fix themselves. You cannot do that for someone. You can inspire, you can support by being kind, by being patient. Okay, the person says, well, I'm a little bit inadequate. I feel this way about myself. And yes, you can be patient with the person. Not forcing change, but you accept that, accept the person and know that, okay, he or she is working on themselves, right? But you have to first get the mindset that you cannot fix anyone and you cannot make them happy. Happiness is what you are, it's not something that is obtained. For example, you giving me this room cannot bring me happiness. It cannot make me more happy than I already am. It can bring me joy. So a lot of people don't understand the difference between joy and happiness. Joy, you give me this, it brings me joy. You take this away, it brings me sorrow. Joy and sorrow work like that. Happiness just is. You giving me this, it doesn't add to my happiness. You taking this away, it doesn't add to my happiness. Happiness is what you are. Peace is what you are. You do not bring me peace. Don't bring peace in the relationship to me. Be your own peace. I be my own peace. And we come together and we merge our peace. You bring your own happiness. I bring my happiness and we merge together and we share that happiness. I am love. You are love. We bring that together and we share and become that one love. Don't come over here telling me you want me to make you happy. You want me to love you. You want me to. Don't do that. Just be the love that you are. Be the peace that you are. Be the happiness that you are. And then we can have the best relationship ever. Because no, you're gonna have your in you. The Spirit of God is gonna be in you. The Spirit of God in me. And once we have the Spirit of God in the head of the marriage, then what's gonna be missing? The Lord is my shepherd; I shall not lack. So as long as the Yahweh is there, what can we lack? So we just need to get our mindset right to understand that if we keep attracting toxic people to us, we need to understand there might be something about us. Sometimes you need to take a longer break before engaging in relationships again, so you can get to witness yourself. Just like you're looking at something there, or looking at people over there, you get to witness. You're looking at yourself going through all these relationships and see how they play out. So now you can see, okay, damn, I was doing that, I was doing this. Oh, I was insecure, so this is why I was pushing this person away. Oh, I was rejected. This is why I cannot allow my man to watch TV by himself. I cannot allow him to do anything by himself. Because what? It triggered something in me. I cannot allow my woman to do this. It's triggering something in me. As long as I'm not getting this direct attention from you, is triggering what? My rejection, because I felt neglected when I was around my parents or around my other or whoever, and when they were doing other things and not giving me the attention that I wanted. Now I perceive that as what? A form of neglect. So yes, you and your partner are in the house. Guess what? He's watching TV. That is not enough for you because it's triggering back the same feeling of being neglected when you were with probably your parents or with your ex or whoever. So you go, oh, he's watching sports, you need to take the remote and change the channel. Disrespecting, not even realize that that is a disrespect. You don't do that. Okay, she's gonna go out with her family or whatever at some event at work. You want her to be on the phone with you, texting you at the event or video call just to do what? Because it's triggering your rejection. You think that something's gonna happen. Get yourself together. You cannot be attracting alcoholics or abusive people or narcissists or all these people and thinking that you're this healthy person who have it together and you're just an empath with the Spirit of God moving around healing everyone. Do not let your pride deceive you, and do not be too caught up in Western psychology. You watching all these psychological videos on YouTube and, oh, I'm this, all these good things you are. But when it comes to you attracting all these bad things, it's just a bad thing. It's nothing about you. Fix the belief. Make a journal. Write down how you really feel about yourself. And take your time and work on yourself. Identify all the things that you want, all the things that you need, all the things that make you feel fulfilled in a relationship. Create healthy relationships. Do not attract any more toxic people in your life. One or two, maybe three toxic relationships, yes, but there has to be a line. Once you see you get to the third toxic person, you need to take a step back and really question yourself now. Question your belief system. You have to dig deep to get into the unconscious of your mind. And this is why a lot of people cannot stay by themselves. They need activity. You need something. This is why you constantly pick fights with your partner, because you need to know that he cares or she cares. So guess what? Even if um the pen is placed over here, it's okay. But guess what? You have to create a problem to get the person angry. You provoke the person to anger because that activity gives you a sense of reassurance. Oh, he's pretending, he's acting as if he's tough, but I know he cares because look how he gets upset. So what you do sometimes, you just start the conversation, you just start the argument, and then you remain quiet just because you know that it triggers the guy's anger. But that gives you a sense of a feeling of pleasure. It gives your ego that yes, he cares. This is why you provoke people to anger, you provoke people to jealousy, because you need that reaction, that form of negative reassurance to say that he cares. You on your phone doing all of this, make it look like you're talking to a guy or getting all this attention and so forth, just so that he can have a reaction. And from that reaction, you can formulate the belief that he cares or she cares or whatever. No, you're damn insecure. You're insecure in yourself. You need to do all these things. But yet, he is the toxic one because he reacted in that way. But you can wash your hands clean, right? No, we have to identify these things in our in the things that we do. We have to identify ourselves in these things that we're doing so we can be honest about it. Now this is where I say shalom.